Hey Chris, so this is to me about a 8 to 10 minute, either you can do this on your off running days, or you could do this maybe as a running warm up slash cool down, just trying to get some mobility and strength into the lower half to supplement the running. All right, just a little bit more the three things we're really trying to get with these are mobility, strength, and then also that balance component that we're missing a little bit here. So I don't care what order you do them in. I don't care the speed. I don't care the timing. I don't care about counting reps. Just movement. You will find as you do them, you can pick your own order. Maybe on certain days you're only doing a couple here and a couple there. Making it one nice, neat package is not what matters to me. We picked these specifically though because we know they're necessary, they were challenging, and they felt good. So if any of that changes while you're doing these, obviously we'll make adjustments. So just gonna go down the list here. I kind of have them order in flexibility to strength to hips, but we'll go from there. So the first one's just a hip hinge, normal stance, about shoulder width. Just really working on reaching and coming back. Just getting the hips to flex and extend. Decent little hamstring stretch at the bottom. Again, not weighted, not fast, just comfortable. Boom. We go right from there to our deep squats. I still like you doing these on the heel lifts. Good depth. You can add a little weight if you like. Add a little weight under the chin. Add a little weight down here if you want. Just mostly about getting the knees and the ankles warmed up. All right. We go there into the calves while they're here. Calf stretch. Kind of shimmy a little bit if you like. A little bend. Boom. Step in front. We can do some anterior tib, working on the shins. Do both at the same time if you like. Strengthening. Back to the calves a little bit if you need to. Again, your calves and hamstrings mobility, #1 priority. So you probably can't do this one quite enough. All right, and then here we go to number 6, which is our quad stretch. And then we're gonna add a little bit of a mini squat in that process. Again, stretching, strength, plus we get a little bit of balance, a little bit of stability. Again, don't really care how long you wanna go on this one. Maybe 10, 15 seconds each leg. Again, this is not a hypertrophy workout. This is not a strength only workout. We're just kind of mixing and matching to get nice and loose, all right? From there, we go to our split lunge. I do like you doing it with the heel lifts. Again, depth, work your way out of it. Depth, work your way out of it. Not too fast, not too slow. If you want to spend a little more time in this downward angle, you can, great. Switching legs, good depth, good stretch. Stay nice and tall, all right? Love this one. Don't have to use the heel lifts, but if you notice that heel's popping up a lot, I do like the lifts. We went to number 6. This was originally, we were doing this with the weight. Again, it's good balance, good hamstring stretch. But if you notice that making the back a little bit angry, I like this version too. Keep you a little bit more honest with your posture. You're still getting the same benefits in the hamstring. Good hamstring stretch, good hamstring strength on the way up. Love that one. Let's see, number 9 was, we did the dynamic balance. That was the lunge jumps. Again, as we're already loose, so now let's get a little more active. This is probably when we get a little bit closer to our run. Again, pretend you got a tightrope, pretend you got a line on the floor. Whew, you're trying to stay on, all right? That way we work on that balance a little bit extra as well. Love that one. Going back to, we did that band around the ankles. Just feel free to be stationary and just work on the band that way. That way you get some hip strength, opposite side, hip strength. A little bit of balance too on that bottom leg, or that stationary leg. So I like that one just to address the hips because we haven't done that yet. And then we got one more, which is the the wide squats. Again, we're starting really wide. First step is kind of a stretch. Go down the middle. Do a little shimmy if you want, but mostly stretching the hamstrings. And then we add squat for depth. You're trying to push your butt down the ground as far as it'll go. It's not going to go very far. Back down to stretch. Squat. Stretch. Squat. Kind of up to you how many you want to do there. Again, I don't mind a little side shimmy if you like in that position as well. We can't go wrong being a little bit wider because we already were narrow earlier when we were here. So this is nice because we're hitting a lot of different modes. We're working on our ankles, our knees, our hips. We're doing stretch, we're doing strength, we're doing balance. For a 8 to 10 minute routine, it's about as widespread as we can get. The other thing that we talked about was with your back, excuse me, I'm gonna move this a little bit here. Maybe having, put your butt against the wall. And you can start working on that cat-cow a little bit. Just getting used to that back being in a arched versus rounded position. Arch versus rounded. It seems like sometimes when you get in that rounded position, there's some pain. So I want you to get used to coming in and out of that. Last one we had, this has nothing to do with this warm-up routine, but we talked about stretching that rhomboid. Again, I like this one where you grab that opposite outside of the shoe, and then from there you can lean back and twist and turn. Great shoulder blade stretch if you need it. So again, if you need to write those down or document those however you want, or just follow along the video, I'd like to see that done. I'd say a good start's probably a couple times a week. If you get less sore and you can turn that into a semi-daily thing, that'd be wonderful. Obviously from there we can start mix and matching and have more of a strength day and more of a flexibility day, and maybe throw in some more core and some upper body eventually. Again, I'm a big fan of having a bunch of 10-minute routines, right, that we kind of sprinkle together throughout the week. But this is a good start for the lower half that just needed a little bit extra love to solidify that knee. So I hope that helps, man. Keep me posted, and let's do it again in a few weeks. All right, take care. Bye.